Hello, welcome to the Chirp YouTube channel. My name is Christy and I am your friendly online speech-language pathologist and specialist in children's communication development, which includes behavior, because behavior is a type of communication. Today we are here with another video in our series about how to start programming for children who have differences of development. This is very important because everywhere we go, every situation we are in, when we are in groups, there will be kids. And when there are kids, there will be kids who are developing differently. If we believe that these kids are valuable and important and worthy of love and acceptance, then we need to make sure that our programs communicate that. I am speaking out of almost 25 years of experience as a speech-language pathologist and a specialist in early childhood communication development, but also a person who has worked for equally long in churches to help programming be more welcoming for kids with developmental differences. And I believe that this is vital for our communities, different kinds of communities, to be doing. You can find the previous videos in this series right here. And in this video, we're going to be talking about step 2. Step 1 was developing a group, finding a team of like-minded individuals and kind of exciting them about the possibilities that your group could provide support to a wider variety of children. In step 2, we need to make sure that whoever is part of our team is well prepared to deal with the kind of issues that we might face. We're probably going to deal with communication disorders. We're probably going to deal with some behavior challenges and differences in attention span and different ways of accumulating and assimilating information. We're probably going to deal with different kinds of medical needs, perhaps. And there is no way that a person who doesn't have a rich educational background in this area, in these areas, or hopefully experience in the field is going to be able to amass the kind of awareness and expertise that those of us who have those things are going to have. We do need to have somebody who is leading this exciting team, who actually knows from a professional standpoint what to do if a kid is spiraling into a meltdown. Because your typical adult human is not going to know what to do and is going to freak out. That's not what we want. We want to prepare in advance so that when these things happen, we know what to do. If there is a program near you, if you are a leader of a team that is hoping to grow, if there are programs near you, maybe even an elementary school autism program, go, observe, volunteer in the classroom if at all possible. Get a part-time job as a paraprofessional in a classroom to watch, to learn from how the special educators, the occupational therapists, the speech-language pathologists, how everyone deals with these things and tries to prevent challenging behaviors from occurring. Ask a lot of questions. If you do not have that opportunity, then make sure that you ask questions from other people in your environment who might know more than you do. Also, I recommend watching more videos like those on this channel. For example, the one I recommend most is this sensory playlist. I think that is most helpful for meeting children's sensory needs. But the second playlist that I recommend the most is this one, which is based on the pyramid model and which talks about how to prevent challenging behavior. And the very first step is by creating an environment that is conducive to all children. And if the environment is conducive, then a lot of those behaviors that we see don't need to happen. There are lots of very helpful tips in both of those playlists that I recommend. So perhaps if you have a team, you can start there, watching 1 or 2 videos a week and then talking about them. If you already know some of the students who will be in your program, then talk about the pieces of some of those videos that you believe apply to those particular students. This is a great way to start thinking about how you will deal with things as they come. Of course, direct observation of someone who is dealing with a meltdown is going to be the best way to learn how to do it yourself. And you're not going to see a lot of that on YouTube because it's very difficult for us professionals to film, get permissions from families, and post those things online. It just isn't very respectful of me to post videos of students or children who are having difficulty managing themselves. They too will be adults someday, and do they want video of themselves on the internet forever when they were having a hard time? That is one of the reasons why we don't see a lot of videos where children are in the midst of a more serious behavior challenge. But I do have lots of examples on this YouTube channel, especially in the playlists about behavior, where I talk about very specific situations and what I did and why it worked and why other approaches probably won't. So don't go looking for meltdown, how did mom handle it? Or meltdown, how did professional handle it? Instead, look at the lists for what to do in the midst of a meltdown. Watch that video, how to help a child out of a meltdown, and get really, really familiar with those steps. And if possible, enter yourself into an environment where you are going to see meltdowns and watch how very experienced people handle them. Next, I am going to give you some reading materials. Now, it seems to me that many people just aren't reading anymore. Our attention spans have become very short. I know I noticed this with myself during COVID, that my mind was jumping around so much that I found it difficult to sit down and enjoy a book. And I have been a reader my entire life. But I am not the only one. And we need to work our way back into learning information and enjoying reading rather than just screens. Our brains need it. So I am going to recommend some books to you, and I'm going to put links to them in the box below this video. In fact, I think these books are always linked down there because these are some of my favorites. The first one is Floor Time Strategies, and this has, in order, a list of different developmental stages, different skills that students need to be working on, and how you can work on them. There is a list in the front where you can look through and find out where the student is in the developmental plan, the schedule of skills that need to happen, and then you can work on the one that is the next in the list. That is very helpful when you're in a classroom and you need to help children develop new skills. This one is super, super practical. It gives examples of how to help students who are having difficulties with communication in a visual way, because all of our kids, everyone, all of us humans, we learn first through our eyes. Unless we are visually impaired, in which case that is not the case. But for most of us, we learn first through our eyes. We communicate first. We understand first by what we see. It is our first language. And we need to harness that if we want children to learn, especially if their auditory processing is delayed or disordered, especially if their expressive communication is delayed or disordered. We have better ways that we can communicate and that we can help them communicate. that book will teach you about that. Next, More Than Words. I love this book. It also is very practical and gives examples of, and drawings, it's very cute, of how to interact very practically with children who aren't all that interested in interacting with other human beings. And this is very important because so many of our students with autism spectrum disorders or other developmental differences don't easily interact. And if we think that leaving them alone in the corner is going to make them happy, and that's what we do, then we aren't benefiting them the way that we should be. That book gives tons and tons of good ideas. Once again, read a little bit and then talk about it with your group. Take notes as you're reading. Think about strategies that you're going to incorporate in your own life. None of these are books where you can just read it and be finished and know it all. These are books where you have to read it, think about the information, let it percolate in your mind, and then practice it. Practice it like a spiritual practice. You don't just sit down to meditate and all of a sudden you're enlightened. You sit down to meditate because it allows you to calm your mind and experience some transformation in the process. These books are like that. You have to let them sit and then you have to put it into practice in order for it to transform how you interact with children. The last one is called The Child with Special Needs. And this one, all of these are so good, but this was the first one I read that early in my career that I really felt hit the nail on why I didn't like so many different kinds of therapies that I was seeing used with children. They did not feel relational. They did not feel individual to that particular child. And I couldn't see how they were really making a difference in the child's internal world. This book and this framework, which is called the DIR framework, helps us as the adult human, as the communication partner, to connect with the inner being of the child. We're not just training the child to respond to stimuli like a robot. We are interacting with the true internalness, the true being that exists as that child. And we are learning how to communicate because we are showing interest in who that child really is, and we are getting to know what that child's real interests are. These things are big things. It's important to train ourselves, but without a structured program, such as a degree of some kind, we have to be very purposeful if we want to lead a team or be part of a team, because these children's safety and these children's personhood and these children's learning will be in our hands for a period of time. So if you are in the process of developing some kind of programming, please make sure that you are well trained and well prepared. If this is an issue that you are concerned about, please keep on watching videos from this channel. I'm sure there are other channels out there that are equally valuable to you as you learn. But also, if you are interested in trainings, in getting yourself trained, there are different programs that I can recommend. I have done training for different churches specifically, but also other organizations who have an interest in a particular topic related to children's development, or overall, how do we structure our programming? So you can email me about that if you'd like. And you can sign up for some of these other programs if you find that they meet your needs well. I hope that this video gave you some stuff to think about, and I will see you in the next one. Don't hesitate to subscribe if you would like to carry on learning about this process with me, and I will see you soon. Bye.